Archana Purohit, author Agency Adda, along with Upasana Purohit, co-founder of Agency Adda, and others at the unveiling of Agency Adda book at T Hub, Knowledge City in Hyderabad on Thursday.
I'd like to share some industry insights. The professional service industry is projected to grow at a whooping rate of 20 to 25%. But despite this potential, only 40% of businesses rely on word of mouth. That's where Agency Adda comes in, a one-stop marketplace to make collaboration seamless and ecosystem stronger. Agency Adda isn't just a platform. It is a thriving community, a guidebook, and now a digital ecosystem designed to revolutionize the service sector. Speaking of the book, I'm thrilled to share that Agency Adda, the ultimate blueprint, received a prominent display at the prestigious New Delhi World Book Fair and is already live on Amazon. But today, we have the privilege to physically unveiling it here in front of you. Now, I'd like to invite a special person on stage, Mrs. Anjali Purohit, a philanthropist, a talented artist, and a woman who dedicated her time to impactful causes. Whether it was her involvement with the RSS Women's Wing in Nagpur, Bhavan's Kala Surgeon, which promotes performing arts in the region, or her dedication to CNCA, an initiative cultivating social responsibility and civic duties among the underprivileged children in Nagpur. Let us put a hand together as we invite Anjali Purohit on stage for unveiling the book. I'd like to invite our family on stage for a photo op to capture this beautiful moment. Please.
Madam, don't blink.
Service providers play a key role apart from the ecosystem enablers that they are already being recognized by. So I would now like to introduce the panel to you. Mr. Vivek Verma, founder and CEO of Upsearch, business strategist, investor and mentor to over 250 plus startups, and an investor with 35 startups, driving impact at the intersection of sustainability, brand building and growth. We welcome you, sir. Our next panelist, Mr. Kiran Babu. He's the founder of Rava, and she's passionate about empowering professionals through coaching and transformating learning. Next on board, we have Priyanka Bhatt, co-founder, CEO of Equations PR and Media, leading PR expert working with funded startups and enterprises, crafting high-impact brand narratives for over 15 years now. I would now like to call upon Mr. Apurva Chaudhary, founder and director, Atom Content Studio, driving video-first content strategy for brands like Zomato, ITC, Paytm, and redefining digital storytelling for us. Conversation, and nobody's going to shush me up around it. So my question to you, Mr. Vivek, first, having mentored 250 plus startups and you've invested in over 35 or 40 startups, what are the biggest gaps in the India service provider ecosystem that you've seen?
So I think from my good, you can hear me at the back?
Yes.
From my experience of having worked with startups over about 10-12 years now, I think the biggest gap is the lack of understanding, the lack of what they themselves want. Quite often startups themselves are not go out to the ecosystem to look, and especially given the fact that we are sitting in Hyderabad, a lot of focus is on technology and on tech setups side of the startup space. Their focus is more on product development. Rightfully so. So I'm not trying to say that they should dilute that in any case. But there is a lot more than just the product development that needs to happen. And quite often that gets slacked. And also from a strategic standpoint, quite often I find that the belief, not all, but many tech founders have, is if I build a solid product, then when I open the door, there should be a queue lining outside because my product is so good. And why aren't people kind of lapping up and take it? And we know, jo dikhta hai, wohi bichta hai. So that part, sometimes they have a little bit of a struggle. So I think those would be my thoughts on where the biggest challenges and gaps are. And they don't understand the other spaces that well. So it's not to blame them. It's just that they need to use the ecosystem. So there are others who have domain expertise in that, be it digital marketing, be it go-to-market, be it channel distribution, whatever else it is. But they don't know, and there are no credible.
We are over-exploiting the technology in AI. So let's start from there. But where the real gap or where the misalignment is happening is the service providers, they're using AI as, can I use AI to do 1/10 of the cost, reduce the cost by 1/10, versus the AI should be used to, can I give 10x more value to the same unit cost, unit price. So that's the fundamental difference. So we are still trying to automate our service providers mostly. They try to automate so they can take more clients. Is the attitude versus, hey, can I use this technology for the same price point? If I can deliver 10 times more, because now the amplification is started. So there's the first level of thing misalignment that I see in the service providers. And the second thing is, I think now because AI has come, personalization is no more hyper-personalization. Actually, it's no more personalization, it's hyper-personalization. So hyper-personalization is the name of the game. So now every service provider, the question that they need to ask is, now there's kind of a superpower that we have. It doesn't happen in a single channel. Ultimately, see, the technology the tool should help in doing two things for a company, for a business, right? Either it needs to help me increase my revenue or reduce my cost. First principle, very simple, right? So we are good at trying to optimize at the cost level, but it's okay. That is not the place so much that you, as I said, 10x more value by using technology, by using AI. Karma comes back. Customers will remember. So I would say focus more on the customer side. Focus more on 10x value creation than optimization. Optimization, it's okay, these things will happen. But it's the acceleration that needs to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I think what you said very rightly, people are using AI to optimize their unit costs. That shouldn't be the mindset. It should be to accelerate and go on to the next level.
Yes, it's a byproduct. The optimization will happen independent of it. You don't need to make a strategy out of it. The strategy should be made of like 10x. How do I get that 10x at an individual customer level? That's very important.
Your back to basics applies here too, right? Your artificial intelligence is useful.
It was such an insightful discussion.
One of those events, T-Hub is, so I can now say, I was the CEO of T-Hub, right? And a lot of my friends used to call me the chief event officer. Because T-Hub would be an event a day. And it was one of those events. One of the things I used to always feel was all our events are very business-like, and they didn't have that the family touch. Right? So thank you, sir, and both your parents and your in-laws are here. It is a really proud moment, and congratulations, I think, on what you have done. So I've known Archana for I think about 3 years. She's transitioned so many avatars even in those 3 years, and when she came and told me that she's going to put out this book, and then create this platform and the community, I said, way to go. And quickly give you a little bit of background why I think this is an idea whose time has come. So one of the things we are trying to do at TIHA.
Making Touch Alive Foundation associating with us. It's a very noble cause, and before I start anything, I always have to say this, and I do this, is all thanks to MSR sir. He says ecosystem builder, but
for coming here, I would want to share that this is the day we have launched my book, Agency Adda. It's a book for startup founders and service businesses to connect and help them grow and start their and help them in their entrepreneurial journey. More importantly, we are also unveiling Agency Adda, which is a marketplace which will connect service providers to service seekers. We see that the startup ecosystem is huge, wide. There is a lot of support for the startups there. But one very important factor is that startups need services and other business supports. So as a startup entrepreneur, if you are looking out to find an agency or a lawyer or legal support or financial support, this marketplace is going to be the point where you're going to find everything. For the providers, it becomes very difficult to find the right kind of brands and businesses to work with, somebody who's honest, earnest, and who's going to pay you back your money. So all these are problems that service providers also face. So with my experience of 17 years on being both sides, a service provider and a service seeker, I realized that this is a huge gap. We have markets or businesses of the like of Upwork, Fever, which are like global brands, but we do not have a truly made in India marketplace for the Indian startup ecosystem. And with Agency Adda, this is what we are looking to create.
So in this digital marketing age, so there is a lot of AI going on. So how come someone in the AI field and with the marketing collaboration things can happen? So what is your opinion?
So the marketplace is for anyone and everyone, and there are going to be multiple categories. You can find software companies to help you build a software. You can find AI agents, AI tech companies, who can help you up your game. Most importantly, our software marketplace is also AI enabled. It's going to use AI matchmaking to help you find your right market fit. So if you have a particular requirement, if you need a service provider in a particular price range, in a particular city, with X set of information. A lot of times what happens is when you walk into a meeting, somebody will say, I have experience of 15 years. Actually, they do not have that kind of experience of 15 years, right? So the platform will help vet the authenticity of service providers and service seekers both. So this is what the platform basically brings together.